Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. This is a conservative-leaning podcast that I do. I'm a Republican. I'm not MAGA. I'm a Federalist. I believe in the Constitution and all that is contained in it and all the principles of how it works. Today is April 23rd, of course, and this is episode 58 of my podcasts. I want to thank everyone who have new members, new subscribers, and all those people watching. I appreciate it. I have opened up a TikTok because people are telling me, go on TikTok. I have a Rumble at rumble.com also. And, of course, my Facebook, John A. Costa. Today is going to be real quick. I'm going to take in the Virginia redistricting vote that happened. Going to take in a little bit about Omar, some things that are happening there. Delusional Democrats just running amok right now. And the possible shakeup of the Trump administration's cabinet. So just want to step on those things real quickly as I go through here. Okay, the Virginia redistricting vote that took place the other day and squeaked by, but it won, has been stopped by a state judge who says that Virginia did not follow their own constitution on putting this on the ballot for a vote the way they did it. There is some back and forth going between the Attorney General of the state and the courts, but basically it has been stopped, and I doubt that it will get back onto the possibility of getting done. And the redistricting that they did in, the redistricting that they attempted to do would have given them a 90% advantage over the Republicans. I mean, just outrageous on what was done and how they did it. And it just, I mean, really, it is a real no-brainer to say that this is the one I was looking for. I had it in my hand the whole time. A real no-brainer. They are going to be fighting a tooth and nail, the Democrats, in the courts, but I don't believe that this will get any traction to be put in place by the time the midterms come. I don't see Virginia possibly as being in play, but it's just they can't do it. And I said it before that there were lots of little problems that they were doing. They really pushed this through to get it in there at voting time, and they violated their own Constitution. But again, I said Republicans have passed the same legislation in Texas, North Carolina, and Missouri, with some pushback by the Democrats in California and in Utah. But I think that the main theme is that the Democrats are trying to game the system. I don't like that the Republicans, I don't like the redistricting. I never liked how they created districts for minorities. It was wrong. It was wrong then. It's wrong now. That needs to be corrected. And really, the Republicans, that was their argument, that this is set up so that, there isn't truly a, one man, one vote. They just keep moving the line so that they would get more seats or retain seats. So it's very questionable. All right. That was a whole 5 minutes of me speaking on that. And that was revisiting what I discussed yesterday. And if you want to really see what I'm discussing or what I'm about to discuss, you go to my shorts in my channel. And in 2.5 minutes, I just give you the rundown. Representative Omar, has skipped a fraud hearing held by the state of Minnesota. And Kristen Robbins, who brought this forward, and of course she's a Republican, wants to investigate the alleged connection between Omar and fraud. And there has been nothing, so far to connect officially Omar with any of the fraud that has gone on. So what really comes into question with Omar is the fact that she had filed a financial statement with the House and listed her assets as, $30 million, and, combining her husband and her. And then when called out, how could this have gone up so much? She goes, well, through marriage, but they've been married a while. And then all of a sudden she said, oh, no. And she defended her position. And the Democrats all defended her position that, hey, she has a rich husband that, has to be in the mix here, and it's a full and fair disclosure. And then all of a sudden, when her information started to become real soggy, she refiled a new one, and her net worth is now $96,000, wiping out almost $30 million worth of assets. What happened? How was this done between her and her husband, who has a capital investment company? So it looks shady, and mostly out of a state that is looking at $19 billion in fraud. It looks kind of shady, but it doesn't mean it is. Looks can be deceiving. To have a $30 million mistake on a record that everyone's going to look at a form that everyone's going to look at and examine, who was her accountant? How was this done? And did she sign it and go, oh, wait, whoa, $30 million, what are you talking about? So my problem is, if that's the path she wants to take, then and she could take that path to say, hey, it was just a mistake on the form. She signed off on it. And you make a mistake on your taxes, And the government turns around and goes, yeah, that's fine. We realize mistakes happen, and you have to put an amended form in, but there's a penalty. There's a penalty. So Omar is under the light. Now you have the president saying, things that he shouldn't be saying. He just shouldn't be. He shouldn't be saying, she's a crook, she's this, she's that. That he shouldn't be saying that. If I was President Trump, I'd be saying, hey, look, this was caught. They were caught red-handed in her state, Tim Walz, and they were warned and told about this, and just did the three monkeys here speak, say no evil. And then it comes to light, and Tim Walz goes, "Oh well, I'm going to take full responsibility." Well, that's very good, Tim, and as you should. But we have to know if your pockets somehow were filled by this. And when I say your pocket, it could be through campaign funding, where you were told that these people had a problem, yet you took their money. And Tim, not saying that Tim actually sat down and sat with them and know, oh yeah, these are crooks, but money's money. No, I'm not saying that. Now, with Ellison, the Attorney General, yeah, I'm absolutely saying that more than likely it's all pointing towards, yeah, he knew and he was advising them how to do it so that they didn't get caught or it didn't look funny. It's just too coincidental, and if you speak to lawyers, a lot of them don't believe in coincidences. So, Rep. Omar, she skipped the hearing. Now, she wasn't compelled to go. She was invited to come and give her side of the story, and she did not, which is certainly, if I was a lawyer, which I am not a lawyer, but if I were a lawyer, I would tell anyone, if you are not compelled to give an explanation where it can turn into a criminal matter, your words that then can be used against you, yeah, don't say anything. You don't have to do it. And when you are indicted or you are subpoenaed or there is a warrant for you, then you exercise your Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights, and you have a lawyer with you at all times, and you go from there. And that's not a matter of saying, oh, well, you're guilty. Exercising your rights under the Constitution is just that, exercising your rights. It's not an admission of guilt. And anyone that would go into a court and say, yes, by them taking the Fifth or by them doing this, you can assume or make the assumption that they had something to hide. Yeah, you're going to find yourself really in a bad spot, which has happened to lawyers. So, Kristen Robbins is taking up the battle, and she's she's in the state legislation, and saying that, hey, we need to clean this up, and we knew about this, and we tried to stop it, but we couldn't. And they, maybe Omar can shed some light on this, and yet she's not going to speak, which, again, is her right. All right. The other Democrat that's in the news, and it's a funny one. Schumer, again, gets on the Senate floor and says that no one respects Border Patrol or the people in ICE. No one respects them. No one. So he's speaking for everyone. And this is coming from Schumer, who In essence, if you don't fund Border Patrol, you are saying, I want open borders. There can be no ifs, ands, or buts about that, folks. I want to defund the police that protect our borders. What does that mean to you? That I want to leave the vault of the bank door open with all the cash sitting there and the doors unlocked. And turn the lights off at night and we leave. That is exactly what Schumer is fighting for. This is exactly what Jeffries is fighting for. This is exactly what the Democrats that do not get on board to say we need to fund this, that is what they want. And that is why, if you're a Democrat, you really have to rethink how you're going to vote in November. If you want open borders, if you demand that, you can. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. Stop hiding behind, well, they arrest people, then they stop people. That's their job. That is in the Constitution. That is allowed. We have a valid, in place, congressional approved, Senate ratified border policy. And you have Schumer going, I know we have that. I know, but we shouldn't obey it. And then these same Democrats go, well, no one should obey an illegal order in the military. But they want Border Patrol not to follow the law. Right? Do you see the contradiction of the Democrats? Can you see that? And I say that in all honesty. They are on the wrong side. And they should be being called out every day. And Republicans, you should be calling up the Democrats in your districts in everything you're doing and going, you represent me. I don't like it. We follow the law. You want to change the law? You guys go ahead and change the laws. But until you do, they get followed. And this is something the Democrats just refuse to do. There's no such thing as sanctuary city. There's no such thing as dreamers. There's no such thing as parolees in immigration. It doesn't exist. The idea that Schumer would get on the floor and go, no one respects them, no one wants them, is outrageous. It is a childish position. A childish position. It's like a kid, go to your room. Go to your room. I hate you. I hate you all. I wish you weren't here. That is the logic of the Democrats. And I don't want them in charge. I don't want them in charge. If that is their logic, if they're all lining up behind one another saying these things, I don't want them. Vote them out. Get them out. And if you could find a Democrat that wants to run against them that goes, no, listen, I want borders. I want the streets safe. I want to know who's in my country, just like I want to know who's in my yard or who comes into my house. That's not asking much. If you get people that make common sense, then you know what? Vote Democrat. Vote for that Democrat. You don't have to vote for a Republican. And as I say all the time, never, ever not vote in protest. Go in there and exercise your right. Hold your nose and vote for the other guy, because if you can't stomach the guy, that's your guy. Then you already know what you need to do. And if you don't vote, then you are theoretically automatically voting for that other guy. So staying home is not the answer. Or by chance, everyone comes out and votes for the guy that you go, I just can't get on board with him. And this guy gets in, and you sat there and you go, I could have voted for the other guy. This wouldn't have happened. Always, always vote. Always exercise your vote. So, in the same breath, President Trump has insisted that Senator Schumer make an apology to the men and women of ICE and men and women of Border Patrol. And of course, Schumer won't, because he's a child. He's having some type of, I don't know what's going on with him. I liked Schumer. And boy, did he just turn left. And, I know he sees the writing on the wall. He thinks that, New York is going to be left. Let me tell you, New York's going to vote in a Republican governor. You wait and see. You wait and see. Hochul is out. She won by the skin of her political teeth last election over a virtual unknown. The opponent that she's facing this time, he's not so unknown. Mark Wayne Mullins, Director of Homeland Security. He's the Secretary of Homeland Security. Called Senator Schumer in a Fox News interview a lying scumbag. Now, I don't know what Mullins has against scumbags to compare a scumbag with Schumer. You like how I did that, Bob, in New York? I don't know if I would use that type of language if I was a politician. But I would say that he is a deceptive politician. Just come out and say you want open borders. Just come out and say, I want these people to come in here and vote. Just come out there and say it. Why wouldn't you? Are you embarrassed to say that? Because that's what you were doing under the Biden administration. So, the Democrats right now are in sorry shape. And they think they're all out there, we're going to win, we're going to take it, we're going to do this. You're not taking anything, pal. The only thing you'll be taking is a bath. Because all your plans and everything is going to show that it's been failed. And I said this before, and I'll keep saying it over and over again. Yes, Bob, in New York, I'm an echo chamber on this issue. You lost in 2024 because you were too far left. So how do you fix that problem? You go further left, right? That's what they're doing. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. And I think the House will stay red. I know the Senate will stay red. The House is having problems because people are being pushed out that weren't being pushed out before, and you have now the opportunity for someone to step in there and really turn on the heat as a Republican. And in some states where there are Republicans, the Democrats can come in there and turn the heat on and say, see, this is the whole party system of lying to you. You've been lied to. And they prop that guy up. And this is why you can't have another one come in there, because he'll just be propped up by those same guys. So it's going to be interesting. Some states that were leaning a certain way now that lean is a little bit more. And remember, you lean enough, it falls. So that's what's going on. But Mark Wayne Mullin, Department of Homeland Security Secretary, insulted scumbags by comparing them to Schumer. If I was the Trojan company, I would be outraged. So, all right, the Senate last night, Wednesday, 3 a.m., which Wednesday, 3 a.m., passed a funding bill that just about went down party lines. The two, senator from Kentucky and senator from Maine didn't vote for it, but it won 50-48. Now it gets passed down to the House. Could it pass the House? I don't know. But what this is about $70 billion worth of funding for the full term of the Trump administration. So no more of this nonsense with Schumer, no more of this nonsense. And Schumer is getting extremely, extremely desperate. Yesterday I reported that he had said that he was going to shut the government down in September. That is his plan. That's his great plan, to put people out of work. There you go, Chuck. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, this Senate bill that, I don't know if it can, if the House will vote for it, if they got enough to push it through, if the people in the House go, I've had enough. We got to get back down to running the business of the government and not this stuff, where we have laws. This is a no-brain stuff. We're not inventing anything here. We have laws, and you don't want to obey them, so you don't fund it. And then those, we have laws. What are you talking about? Yeah, we have a sign-in sheet. When they come over the border, just sign your name. That is really what the Democrats are looking for. It's outrageous. Outrageous. It can't happen. It's been just about a half hour. I'm going to say that there's a lot of talk in the liberal media about a shakeup coming in the Trump administration. Cabinet members. But cabinet members are always moved around. The person really that didn't do it a lot was Biden, because the people that were controlling Biden controlled those cabinet seats. So I would expect people leaving and coming and going, mostly going into a second year. And they know that Vance will bring his own people in when he wins in 2028. So these people are now looking for their jobs outside. and really people that the president will bring in they know that it's a short-term position. Unless they're Vance picked people in advance. Not advanced, but advanced. So, could be. I mean, if I was Trump and I know this is going to be the end of my time here, and we got to start making way for the new. And, hey, JD, if you have people and they meet my criteria, which you met my criteria, so I'm going to go down the road saying that we're on the same path here. Throw me some names, because my people are leaving, and if you feel comfortable bringing these people in who then, are comfortable with me and then, of course, comfortable with you, have at it. Have at it. But just realize that I'm still the president. So I don't see that as, anything earth-shattering, because Trump does what he wants to do anyway. And he just puts people in there that go, you got it. I'm making it happen, sir. I'm sure for the most part, Trump is not going, hey, hey, Steve, what do you think? So I don't think that's not how he operates. So, all right, I'm going to finish this up. It's 31 minutes. It's now 2:06. I'll probably get this out the door by about 4:30, 5 o'clock today. We'll see. Everyone be safe, be good. Please, if you can, give to a charity. Charities need a lot of help out there. Just pick the charity carefully. You go to the charity, and I'll have a charity come to you. You want to make sure you're not a victim or trying to help victims. If you're not comfortable with that, please think about giving to a food bank. And they always need help, and they always need money. And it happens locally, and you could see the results locally. Please say a prayer. Prayer does work, people, no matter what a Democrat might tell you. And with that, I'm going to say, everyone be well, be safe. I'll see you tomorrow. There really wasn't all that much in the news today. The market is, bouncing around a little bit. And Iran is, of course, Iran. They're doing stuff. They're saying they control everything. We won the war. Whatever. But Trump has given the order to shoot and take down any surface vessels and things like that from Iran that come out into the shipping lanes. Don't go to their ports and because you have a ceasefire. But if they leave to try to target a ship, blast them. Yeah, that's the way it goes, folks. All right, with that, I'm going to say thank you as I fade to